Hello everybody, and welcome back to Pravus Gaming, a more Plague Inc. Evolved custom scenarios. By the time you watch this, I guess it's 2018, so Happy New Year to you. Of course, this means that this popular tab is going to get reworked for the new month, and all this stuff is going to be out of here, but let's just see if there's anything on here I want to grab real quick. Nothing in particular, I think. So what I'm going to go for... Well, let's see, what am I going to do? Kind of curious about this whole World of Bone thing. You know what? Let's give this one a shot. But what I'm going to do is I'm probably just going to record one today, and then starting in the new year, since we've already finished off most of the popular tab, most anything that interests me, we'll just pick that up in January. So Thursday's videos will be up to date. Fibrodysplasia, ossificans, what is that spelled correct? I don't know. Progressiva, a mutative anomaly that forces wounds in the body to be replaced with bone. Wait, is that a real thing? Also, I have to say, if your name is Bone Crusher, this just seems very appropriate. Fortunately, the disease is incredibly rare, until now. An adaptive virus has copied the genetic code and is now running rampant. Can you freeze humanity in time? Or in bone? That's a horrifying concept. So what, instead of clotting, your body tries to build new bone? Yeesh. Had to republish a scenario. Wait, have I already done this one? I guess I'm about to find out. Let's give it a shot. Okay, ATP boost, genetic mimic, aquacytic streamophile, and symptostasis for a virus type seems fine. And before you begin, welcome to my first ever custom scenario. Keep in mind that this disease was based on an actual genetic mutation, one that may be disturbing to some players. See, the idea that this is actually possibly real to some extent is what's disturbing about it. Please remember that I am still relatively new at this, so there may be some flaws to this. Any advice or positive ratings would help immensely. With that aside, please enjoy. Hey, dude, you got to the popular tab. You're doing pretty good, I just gotta say. Alright, ossificans assimilos begins in Saudi Arabia. Terrifying, terrifying concept for a disease. So we have air, we have water, we have livestock, blood, insects, birds, rodents, all normal stuff there. Symptoms. Aha! Increased immune capabilities. The immune system slowly grows stronger and is now able to fend off stronger diseases in shorter periods of time. Severity is reduced. Okay, so if you're trying to go for an under-the-radar build, that is an option for you. Vital organ longevity. Minor organs are now showing an increase in longevity, which apparently gives me, what, a little bit of infectivity, it looks like? And I don't think it does anything to severity. Infection suppressants. Minor illnesses are naturally cured at a faster rate thanks to an increase of white blood cells. Is that a good thing for us? I guess it gets rid of all competition. Maybe. Bone deformations. Bones begin to sprout small growths. Severity is slightly increased. Isn't there this thing where you can have I think I've almost experienced this a little bit myself. If you get severe trauma to a finger or something else with bone in it, which is, pretty much anything you have, severe trauma and bruising and such, you can actually kind of build up almost like a callus on your bone, but it's like a little bit of extra bone growths. I've got a little bit of one of those on my finger after I got trapped in an aircraft mechanism, which was very unpleasant. Had to go to the urgent care. Ended up being fine, wasn't broken, but man, it felt bad, and I got a little bump on my finger ever since then in the bone. Very unpleasant. Calcium deficiency. Calcium is redirected to other parts of the body, increasing the chance of breaking bones. What other part of the body would want calcium, I wonder? Increasing the odds of breaking bones, and that's the thing though, I thought we want to wound everything else so we can replace it with bones. I'm not too sure yet. Calcification override. Minor injuries are now being repaired with bone matter instead of flesh. Now that is the goal of the scenario. Abilities, we have our cold, heat, and drug resistance, and organ longevity 1. Didn't we already have that? Vital organ longevity. I'm sorry, excuse me. The organs within a subject now have a longer lifespan, extending their life expectancy. Lethality is decreased as a result. That doesn't sound like something I think I really want, but okay. Virus disease type, yeah, mutates a lot, I'm aware of that. Blah, blah, blah. Shut up, I know what I'm doing. Every once in a while, Plague Inc. just feels this need to reset all the tutorials and stuff. I sometimes keep getting pop-ups about the board game that they developed and such. I don't know why. It's like, I don't think I didn't reinstall it. Did you guys go through a minor patch and just keeps resetting this stuff? Or is this a deliberate marketing ploy? I have no idea. Calcium deficiency began on its own. That unlocks anomalous regrowth. Broken bones now repair into abnormal positions, baffling doctors. Infectivity and severity are increased. And inefficient healing. Bones are repairing quicker than expected, but x-rays reveal that the bones are not fully repairing themselves. Let's go for the vital organ longevity. That adds to organ hardening, also increasing their longevity, and redundant organs. Really? Organs are beginning to sprout growths which appear to benefit the host. Very effective. Ooh, I think I want to grab that. That sounds great. Redundant organs. You know, at some point you wouldn't think there's a lot of space inside of that little meat bag package you have there. You're going to run out of space for all those extra organs at some point. You'd think. But hey, whatever works, works. Redundant organ growth. They're beginning to split into individual replicas of their parent organ. It's almost like we're creating this weird internal cloning program. Immediate disease response. Any cell that resembles that of an unknown virus is swiftly dealt with, reducing the patient's chance of sickness. How does that help me exactly? Again, that's just one of those things where I kind of feel like that would come back to bite me. Let's go for a bit of water transmission and stuff. We're going to want to have some varying forms. I'm thinking maybe we go for birds after this. There's the anomalous regrowth. That's probably okay, though. Birds, air, stuff like that. I don't have a lot of severity is the problem. I kind of do need more of that. More severity would be nice. But do I want to go for inefficient healing? I'm a little bit worried about it. Now, we'll save up for some more transmissions. It'll kind of happen on its own through mutations. Why tempt fate? We'll be okay. There we go, getting all that. Let's get some birds for a bit more land transmission, then I'll focus on the extreme bioaerosol route, as I often like to do. We will want to have some resistances and stuff relatively soon. Redundant organ growth has mutated on its own. Yeah, I'm not having to really pick up any symptoms. It's all going to come on its own accord, apparently. Let's go ahead and grab a level of the cold transmission now, since I think we're starting to work our way north. There's Iceland. Good, good, good. Getting around. We'll grab a level of drug resistance, since we are now in the wealthy countries, and I want to pick up the speed there. That pretty much covers all of Saudi Arabia's airport reach, so we need to start hitting critical mass in a few other places. Increased immune capabilities. Hang on, that's new. What do we got here? No, wait. Oh, this one. Right, okay. Immune system evolution. The host's immune system are slowly beginning... The host's immune systems, are slowly beginning to adapt and evolve, as if expecting a harsh environment. Sounds useful. We have no severity now. Not good. Skeletal deformation. Bones no longer resemble their original shape. Severity dramatically increases. Well, you say that, but it doesn't seem to do anything. Just a little lethality. Unique skeletal shift. Skeletal structures are now beginning to vary from person to person, increasing the complexity of the pathogen. You know one thing I really appreciate about this guy? He either, the author here, Bone Crusher or whatever his name was, either is pretty good at spelling and all that stuff, or he actually put this through a spell check before he published it. And you know what? Freaking kudos. I would like to think that that's my handiwork in there. Probably isn't. But I'd like to think so for vanity reasons. Okay? Let's go for a bit more of that air transmission. There's the immediate disease response. We are starting to get around again a bit more. We're really not quite transmitting the way I want to in places like Russia. We really do need to get some more cold resistance. Let's go ahead and grab a level of that now. So I'm wondering what the longevity stuff does, though. I mean, there's so much focus on longevity here. And the abilities, too. We got something new. Cell evolution. Hang on, what's this? Okay, so we got white blood cells have evolved to dispatch any unknown pathogen that enters the body. Again, I have to wonder, how does that help me? Unless I'm actually, like, the mutation... Ooh, there's an idea. What if the mutations, like, have a chance of helping you and a chance of screwing you over, and you want to try and devolve the ones that are hurting you? Ooh, that adds a level of randomness that could be kind of cool to the scenario. I dig that. Big time. All right, there's the extreme bioaerosol. I think now we focus on... I'm very curious about this. I don't want to decrease lethality unless... Oh, wait a minute. I'll bet you this is a lethality route right here. And this is a freeze people in time route. That could be. Ultimate organ lifespan. Organs now live for more than twice as long and can quickly heal. I'm kind of curious. If we go down this route, are we making humanity immortal in some way? I don't know. Skeletal structure reshaping. Let's try going for the non-lethality route. Let's see what happens. There's immune system evolution. I mean, so far the mutations are pretty much working to my advantage here. Internal organ shielding, a cushioning device, increased complexity. The immune system becomes more complex. Lifespan escalation. Slowly but surely, organs are now beginning to improve in structure, extending their lifespan. We definitely seem to be making humanity immortal. Hey, Greenland! We missing anything else? No! Just need to do a little bit better in these cold countries, and we'll be fine. Uh-oh, skeletal deformation. No! People are going to become hideous monstrosities. Disease nullification. So, wait a minute. How do I find a victory condition here? Let's go for the increased complexity. Absolute immunity. The human immune system is now at its full potential. Oops. All but the most lethal diseases can be naturally eradicated from the body. Severity is reduced. I'm looking for any sort of evidence that there's a win condition. Inefficient healing. Yeah, I guess. Like, I'm worried that I'm going to successfully infect the entire world, and then I'll be doomed. We got a little lethality now. Skeletal structure reshaping is done. Well, people are going to start dying now. I mean, okay. Could kind of use a little bit of DNA, so I guess it's not a bad thing. Come on, Canada, with your incredible healthcare system. Why are you having so much trouble dying and succumbing to perfection of the bones? I don't know. Detrimental reconstruction. Bones are now being positioned in undesirable areas, such as ribs becoming sharper and pointing inward to pierce the vital organs. That sounds horrific. Come on, frickin' Canada. Frickin' Canada, absolute immunity is done. Nice. I mean, we could increase the longevity and stuff through abilities. Global research focused on a cure. Do we win? Exterior bone growth. Well, it sounds like now people are going to start dying pretty big time. Disease nullification? Do I need to, like... I don't know where the win condition is here. Maybe I'm not understanding this correctly and I'm just missing something obvious. The entire world has been infected and we still don't win. And considering they're working on that cure far faster than I can get DNA, I think that means it's an automatic loss unless we get the right mutations to a win condition that I am not aware of. Which thus far does not appear to be happening. Very high levels of bird migration. Well, that would be useful earlier, but not now. So maybe I'm misunderstanding this then. Maybe it really isn't helpful having these green symptoms here. Maybe that was just a wishful thinking on my part. It could be. And if that's the case, then I kind of screwed up by focusing on all of that instead. Everlasting vaccination. Maybe it's one of those scenarios where you have to have 0 lethality. Let's try devolving some of these and just sort of see. That's the only thing I can afford anyway. I can't afford much more than that. Eye cure device. And that's it. Alright, well, that didn't work the way I was kind of hoping it would. So let's try it again. This time I'm just going to go for a lethality route and see what happens. There we go. I think we got this. A lot easier to go for the lethality route. That much is for sure. But okay. It could very well be that there are 2 ways of winning this scenario. It's just not immediately obvious to me. And if there is any room for improvement, if there is a second option, then it would be worth just, you know, communicating that in some way to the player. That'd be helpful. But, again, maybe there isn't a second one, in which case, I don't know, maybe again communicating that there's competing forms of symptoms that mutation's going to kind of screw you over. I don't know. Something along those lines, just because I'm feeling a little bit confused. But either way, I kind of like this scenario. It's really well written. Pretty darn well put together. There's a lot of great options here. Certainly seems like this disease can go one of 2 different directions. I assume that means 2 winning conditions, but I could be entirely wrong. But either way, I think the author did a pretty spot-on job, and absolutely deserves to be up there on the popular tab. Not bad. Now, the downside is it's actually going a lot slower than I kind of want it to. That's the maximum amount of lethality you're allowed to have? No, it's got to be because of this stuff, right? Devolve. Devolve. There we go. It's going to get rid of your lifespan. Get rid of your diseases. I don't know. That's it, though. That's not a lot of lethality, actually. That may be okay for balancing reasons. I'm not too sure. But either way, I'd like to see that escalated a tiny little bit. Either way, yeah, not a half-bad scenario. I am an improvement of this one. Well done, Bone Crusher. You wrote it pretty well. You didn't make a lot of mistakes. It kind of makes some sense. Little kind of minor tweaks, and I think you got a pretty darn good scenario there. Not bad for a first attempt. Not bad at all. Thank you all very much for watching. I do hope that you enjoyed. If so, then be sure to hit that like button, leave a comment, and subscribe, and I will see you guys next time.